The call to the honourable member for Goldstein.
There's concern in Goldstein about the state government Suburban Rail Loop project. With plans for many high-rise apartments, residents fear traffic chaos and overwhelmed education and health services, with the possibility the SRL will never be completed because the Victorian government can't pay for it. It's been reported it could blow the Commonwealth infrastructure budget, especially if the federal government has to rescue a partly built project. What information has the minister received from her department, and will any information or advice received be made public?
The call to the Minister for Infrastructure, Transport, Regional Development and Local Government.
Thanks very much to the member for that question. Of course, the Suburban Rail Loop is a once-in-a-generation infrastructure project that will transform the way in which people move about the state of Victoria and also reshape the way in which Victoria grows, including where people live and the opportunities for people to live around public transport, something that this government is very supportive of. Of course, that we have made a capped contribution of $2.2 billion towards the early works of Suburban Rail Loop East, and release of that funding is contingent on the program meeting the conditions under the National Land Transport Act, as is any project that the Commonwealth invests funding in, which includes project proposal reports, which we have not received from the Victorian government yet. As I have made very clear on a number of occasions, no decisions have been made about further funding before any further requests for funding are agreed to, Victoria will need to work with Infrastructure Australia so that it can provide advice on this project. But in relation to planning issues, this is primarily a matter for the Victorian government, but we know that in order to address housing affordability, we need a steady supply of new housing, and in the right places, supported by the right infrastructure. And that does mean, as I say, building housing around really important public transport links.
The Minister will pause, and the member for Wannon on a point of order.
Just on relevance, Speaker, the Minister was asked about the cost and whether the Victorian state government could afford it. Yes, you were. And I would like to
resume your seat. No, she wasn't asked about that. The question contained what information the Minister will receive, and that is an abuse of the point of order. You simply can't get up and add something into the question. And the Minister is being directly relevant. She's talking about the cost. She's talking about it's not accurate what you said. It's not accurate. The member for Lyons and the member for Wannon continuously raises points of order that are not within the standing order. The member for Goldstein on a point of order.
Mr Speaker, thank you to the member for Wannon, but the redirection to the question was what information has the Minister received on relevance from her department, and will that information be made public? Thank you.
Well, the Minister is being directly relevant and the Minister has completed her answer.